Okay, boys and girls. So, right now I'm going to be reacting to a video called Hillary Clinton's Ohio rally was cringeworthy. Now this is a video from Secular Talk, so it's not straight up news. He does have his opinions on it. My opinion seems to align with his quite a lot. I really like his channel. He gets a good amount of political news in on there, and I think he has generally opinions that fall within mine. So we're just going to check it out. And boom.
Clear Politics has an interesting article out about how Hillary Clinton's support among millennials is weakening. So they highlight a rally that she did recently in Ohio and how contrived and embarrassing it was. So here's what they say. Quote, "What looked like a block-long line turned out to be a crowd that could barely fill 1/4 of a football field. And the students in attendance, well, they weren't exactly there to support the former Secretary of State." Here's what one of them said. "I'm sort of a Bernie Sanders fan. I also had nothing else to do at 10 in the morning," said Brian Miller, a chemical engineering student from Pittsburgh, waiting with more than a dozen friends for the event to start. David Latucci of Morgantown, West Virginia, was there on the off chance he'd see a different Clinton. "I'm here for Bill. He would definitely liven things up here." He said he's leaning towards voting Sanders, too. Such sentiment wasn't anecdotal. Scores of students expressed it. Okay, so, Real Clear Politics, apparently somebody who works for Real Clear Politics was there, and they were like, basically everybody I spoke to was like, yeah, I'm here, but I like Bernie. So Clinton is trying to generate the same Bernie Sanders excitement around the country that he's clearly generating, and it's flopping. But if you think that's bad, it gets worse. Quote, "The event here wasn't just a failure to connect with millennials, but a fundamental inability to read her audience and adjust her speech, or perhaps laziness or a sense of entitlement that she shouldn't have to work this hard for support. Perhaps it was all of that." They say, quote, "Fired up, ready to go," an early speaker shouted as he prepared the crowd for Clinton. He received only a smattering of polite claps, despite several attempts to get the crowd excited. Former Ohio Governor Ted Strickland, running for a U.S. Senate seat next year, tried the same line with the same results. Strickland also tried some good old-fashioned speechifying that ended up with him screaming at the audience. The kids kept asking each other, "Who is this guy?" The applause was sparse, the moment awkward. Okay. I still haven't even gotten to the best part yet. Here it comes. "A good politician would have noticed the audience was barely 12 years old when Clinton battled to win the state in 2008. Instead, Clinton launched into a memorial for Ohio congressmen who were significant long before these kids were politically aware. Then thanked the kids for their votes in 2008. Again, they would have been 12 years old back then." So Hillary Clinton's trying to give this fiery speech, and she's talking about all the different issues, and she's like, "And I want to thank you. You lifted me up, Ohio, back in 2008 during the primary season when I was going against Obama, and you made me feel right, and you gave me a chance." And all the kids are like, "What the fuck? We were 12 years old last time. What are you talking about? We didn't vote for you." They say there wasn't the sound of crickets chirping, but no one picked up on what she put down. It was as if time had passed her by. And here it is. Here's the bomb that they drop in this story. "This trip was billed as a grassroots support mechanism, with every attendee required to sign a pledge of support before entering the field." Whoa! They're not kidding about that. There's pictures of this up on social media. Hillary Clinton made it so that to attend her rally, well, you have to sign this pledge of support, saying that you're going to vote for her, saying that you're on her side. And it's not short either. I mean, I saw the picture of it. It looks like there's a couple things to fill out. And they have the nerve to say, well, this was a grassroots meeting here. This was a rally. This is all genuine support. You're making people sign pledges to be on your side? Oh my God, that's so sad. And that's so incredibly insecure. People who have genuine support you know what they don't have to do? Make somebody sign a pledge. They're pretty self-confident, and they know, hey, I have a good message and people like me, so they're going to vote for me. But Hillary Clinton, it's almost like a weaselly way of trying to get somebody to vote for you. Now, of course, these aren't binding. They can't be binding. But who knows? Are some of the college kids there dumb enough to maybe think, I signed the pledge, I guess I got to vote for her? Maybe. I don't know. But either way, it's just the principle of the thing. It's so gross. The optics of it are gross, especially when you pretend like, oh, this is genuine. Like, I really got a lot of hard support here. Meanwhile, I know we've spoken about it time and time again, but Bernie Sanders shows up in bumblefuck Iowa in places that are only supposed to seat 100 people, and thousands of people show up, and they're genuinely excited. You want to know why? Because they get the sense that he cares about the issues, and it's not just a facade, it's not just a show, he's not just a narcissist trying to get more power. And that's the sad thing about Hillary. And I get tweets all the time. I mean, understand something, guys. She is using more progressive rhetoric right now. There's no doubt about it. And she's releasing some progressive plans. There's no doubt about it. But the bottom line is, I don't believe her. See, people are wondering, like, hey, man, why aren't you covering the thing that she said about this? Why aren't you covering the fact that she just came out with a platform, a proposal about money in politics, and she hates Citizens United and stuff like that? And there are a lot of people listening to the show who happen to like Hillary Clinton. But look, the thing is, like I said, if I don't believe her, I'm not going to cover it and give you the false impression, the misimpression, that she's somebody who really is akin to Bernie Sanders. Now, I get it. I've said it before, I'll say it again. It's not like she's as bad as President Ted Cruz would be. She's not as bad as President Mike Huckabee would be. She's not as bad as Jeb Bush or you name the dumbass Republican. Of course, that's obvious, that's clear. But she's no progressive. I venture to say she's not even really a liberal. Every once in a while, sometimes she'll throw a bone out there when it comes to actual policies she pushes for, like when she was in the Senate. She'll throw some bones out there for social issues stuff. But in terms of economic policy, she's nowhere near a progressive. And we've given specific examples of that, but I can go into more detail if you'd like, or I could bring up some of the old stuff again. Elizabeth Warren, before she was in the Senate, she went and spoke to Hillary Clinton and said, I need you to oppose this new bankruptcy bill, which makes it so that the people get screwed over and the corporations basically rob them. And Hillary Clinton told Elizabeth Warren, oh yeah, no, I'm totally on your side. I'm with the people on that one. And then what happened? Over time, she ended up voting for it. She ended up being on the side of the big banks and the corporations. And we don't even need to just look at economic policy, although her record on economic policy is clear, but look at her foreign policy votes. On Iraq war alone, game, set, match, over. I'm not voting for you. I'm not interested in you. You're going to vote for the Iraq war, the biggest foreign policy mistake of our time, and then you're going to go out there and say, oh yes, I'm just as progressive as Bernie Sanders. My ass cheeks you are. Step aside, Hillary. It's getting annoying. It's getting weird. And all of your support, it's basically a paper tiger. I mean, don't get me wrong. She's leading in the polls, and she's leading by a wide margin. But I contend that's only because she has higher name recognition already. She has a bigger celebrity status already. People know her. So when you bring her up to a standard Democratic voter who might not be into all the nuance of this stuff, they'll go, oh yeah, I guess Hillary Clinton, sure, I'd vote for her. But when people learn who Bernie Sanders is and they listen to what he's saying, there's genuine excitement there. You know why? Because they believe him, and he has a record to back it up.
Okay. Yeah, so as expected, his opinions align pretty well with mine. I do think he's a little harsh on Republicans now and then, but, I mean, often with good reason, but, you know, he could be a little more lenient there. But yeah, totally. I feel like Hillary Clinton, I don't know anyone who's politically aware that, I don't know anyone who's a genuine Hillary Clinton supporter. I think I know people that would obviously vote Hillary Clinton over a lot of Republicans, of course. But that's just like picking, you know, the best of the worst kind of scenario almost. It's not that Hillary Clinton's horrible. I just think that Bernie Sanders, like you said, is rallying so much support. He's really taken the country by storm, and I'd love to see him go all the way. And like you said, when he does these rallies, he's getting all the support, genuine support. That was a really sad story of that Hillary Clinton Ohio rally. Sounds really cringeworthy. She didn't even adapt the speech whatsoever. Didn't even cut out parts that made no sense to tell them. And then you got Bernie over here, who's a passionate and genuine speaker, and that's what I'm all about. Also, is that you do believe Bernie. For the most part, you believe what he says. He sounds genuine, and like Kyle said, you have a record to back it up. He's stuck with his opinions over time. I see it time and time again. People posting like way back in 2006, having the same opinion now. He's stuck with his guns, and seems genuinely like he genuinely plans to do what he says. And Hillary, on the other hand, people like Donald Trump, who have this sort of way of speaking where it's like it's a business to them. It's just a chess game trying to get the best move done. The way they speak, it's like, yeah, like you said, it's kind of gross. But they're also like disconnected. They're not engaged in what they're saying. That's the problem. And Bernie Sanders shows that passion, and I really hope that he will be the Democratic nominee if it comes down to him and Hillary Clinton.